3, 2, 1. Initializing.
Welcome aboard, you're watching GameCrossRoads, my name is Levi, and today, the video for the stream isn't working. Why is that? Hold on a minute. Interesting, yes. There we go. And, hey, I was a little early, but there we go. So, as I was saying, you're watching GameCrossRoads, my name is Levi, and today we are playing Backpack Hero, which is a fun little indie game which I told myself I was only going to play a little bit before the stream, and, well, a few hours later, I've not unlocked any of, like, the secret stuff in this game, but I have played a number of hours of it, so I should be relatively knowledgeable for any questions you guys have while I'm playing. Either way, let's get right into it with a new game. I'm gonna pick this save slot. That's a lot of items back there. Yes, this game has a lot of items in it. Okay. I don't know why the music is playing twice. In the deep dark dungeons beneath her up, there she discovers a mysterious relic. Music reminds me of an arcade game. It's only gonna get more like that, believe me. Is that music gonna keep playing, or are we gonna now transition to the actual game music? No, I think it's gonna keep going until that track ends. Whatever. So yes, this is our main character, and she's found some sort of mysterious relic. What might this be? Why, it's a backpack! The bouncing character is reminiscent of arcade games as well. Yeah, actually it is. Because that's how they make neutral animations. They just have the character kind of bounce up and down in a fighting stance. So yes, let's see. There's a map in the backpack as well. There's a chest of valuables up ahead. Well, let's go see. And what might be in this chest? Aha! So we have ourselves a sword, a shield, and a meal. I don't know how long that's been in the chest, but it seems good to eat still. I don't actually use meals that often in this game. Hold on, I can barely... Just gonna turn that down a little bit. Barely hear myself think, let alone speak. The audio in this game is quite loud, or it can be quite loud if you don't change the settings. Maybe that's just my computer setup though. Do you not have a hunger bar? No, there's no hunger bar in this game. You do have energy. You see this? I can go like this. Okay, so you see this little green circle here. This is energy. You have a certain amount of energy per turn, and different items use different amounts. So eating a meal, that takes no energy. Depending on the meal, I'd beg to differ, but okay. Maybe it's a bunch of crackers or something. This rough buckler, though, if I wanted to block 7 damage, I'd have to use 1 energy. Now, the next question you probably have is, how much energy do you have? You'll see in just a moment. Because there's a fight up ahead. Boom! A fight. In combat, you click items to use them. You must defeat all enemies to continue. Many items, including your sword and shield, require energy. Once you are out of energy, you should end your turn. Then, the enemy will attack. So, here we go. This is combat, and this is the just amazing combat music this game has. I love it. So, we have 3 energy. We have 40 health. The enemy is got 15 block. They're about to put on. They don't have 15 block yet. And they have 32 health. So, if the enemy is going to block next turn, that means they're not going to attack this turn. Which means my best option is to use as much energy as I can into beating their health bar down before they add some armor on top of it. And luckily, this sword deals 7 damage, so I can deal 21 damage this turn if I use all 3 energy. And since they're not going to attack me, seems like a good idea. Boom, there we go. He's now down from 32 health to 11, but still hasn't put on that 15 armor, and I haven't taken any damage. It's their turn, they put on 15 armor. You can see the enemy's intention over their heads. By selecting it, you can learn even more. When enemies plan to attack, you can use your shield to get block. Block absorbs damage and prevents you from being hurt. There we go. So if I were to do that attack again, where I did 21 damage, the first 15 of the 21 damage would be blocked by this shield. You don't have to go up to them to attack. No, this is proper turn-based RPG style where you're standing across a field from each other and just slinging attacks at each other. Yeah, that's how this works. So this time he's going to try and do 7 attack damage. Now luckily, my shield adds 7 block. Unfortunately, my sword only deals 7 damage, so if I use my shield to block his attack, I won't even have enough damage to break his shield down. I'll show that now. So I put 7 on, so his 7 damage won't deal anything to my health bar, but if I hit him with my sword twice, he takes 0 damage because his armor takes it for him. Now technically that could have been an opportunity where I chomp down on this meal, and I'm able to do the damage anyways because I have an extra 2 energy now. But, this is not that big of a fight, no point using up a meal on something I can very easily defeat. He's now going to try and block because he has no block, because if you don't use block on your turn, it goes away the next turn. It's very interesting there. That is something you have to play around with. So now I'm going to hit him with the sword twice, and he's down. I get 7 XP, and since I only needed 5 to level up here in the corner, I win and I level up. Leveling up means I can get more space in my backpack, but I have to pick where those spots are. So I'm going to pick here. They don't all have to be next to each other, I just like having them all next to each other. And because we won, we also get our pick of the loot. There are so many items and so much to discover. Sometimes it can be overwhelming, even for a backpack hero. If you feel confused, bring up the context menu on an item and choose the option to view card. When viewing a card, you can hover over parts of the card and explanations will appear. Never get confused by a new icon again. Which there's a lot of new icons in this game. You run into that surprisingly often. So I'm gonna actually move this sword up here because leather boots. Leather boots are really fun because for each row above this, plus 1 block, and each turn adds 3 block because there are 3 spaces above it. So it takes up 2 spaces in my inventory, but I now don't need to use any energy to get 3 block, which means if an enemy is only going to do 3 damage, I don't even need to block it anymore. It's just automatically blocked every single turn, which is very handy. I'm also going to grab this lucky ring and this fire throwing star. Yeah. The lucky ring is great because it gives me luck, and luck increases your chances of finding rare items, and it stacks. So the more luck you have at the end of battle, the more likely you are to find high rarity items. This fire star it's a throwing knife, essentially. It's a shuriken, and enemies will take, or it will add 3 burn to an enemy, as well as dealing 3 damage on contact. And burn, individuals on fire will take X damage at the start of their turn. This can be blocked. X is basically the number of burn charges they have, and they lose 1 per turn. I love how things have a blur trail when you move them. Do they? Oh yeah. Woo! That's cool. I never moved it. I've been paying so little attention to that I didn't really even notice it. That's cool. Yeah. Now I can take stuff out of my backpack and put new stuff in, but of course I can only pick 3 items. So I have to make choices like that. Not only will not everything fit in the backpack, but I can only take a certain number of items with me anyways. So, yeah, let's keep going. I'm finished choosing, it gets rid of the remaining items, and we continue on to the crit. Okay, so we got 2 fights, a treasure chest, and an unknown event. Well, let's go check that out.
Care to do a trade?
Your snout wiggles as you inhale a odor. Someone here is in need of a bath. You turn around, and standing there is a rat. You never heard him come out.
Let's make a trade, he says. I'll give you a rarer item of the same type.
There are no guarantees. So I can give him an item from my inventory, and then get an item of higher rarity, but that higher rarity item might take up more space in my backpack. So I don't know if that's a good idea. That backpack barely fit through the door. Yeah, it is a very big backpack, isn't it? I'm not actually going to do it yet. You see his tail flick ominously beneath his cloak. A smile crosses his lips.
Come now,
He says.
I think you'll see it's in your interest. Don't resist this deal.
So the reason I'm turning that down is because I simply don't have a big enough backpack at the moment. But if I do some fights, I'll probably have enough XP to get a bigger backpack. And I'll have access to more items, which with my ring, I might get a rare item, which means I'll get a legendary one if I trade it in. So now we're fighting 2-on-1. Well, this is hardly fair, isn't it? But luckily, I'm going to block the first 3 damage from this snail anyways. So if I do the shield, I'm now going to block 2 more damage than he would have done. Usually, if I didn't have these boots, I would have to shield twice because he deals 8 damage and I block 7, so I wouldn't have blocked all of his damage. But because of the boots, I only had to do it once, which means I have the energy to whack him with the sword twice. Enemy's turn. Okay, so now they're both going to attack me, and the snail is about to try regenerating his health. So, if I block once, I only block 10 damage and they're doing 11, but that's fine. I'm cool with that. I'm fine with taking 1 damage. I have 40 health. Especially because, actually, now I think about it, bam, bam, there we go. I'm now only taking 9 damage and have 10 shield. So now I don't have to worry about taking that extra 1 damage because I'm taking 2 less. And turn, boom. He has got no defenses now and he's not attacking me, so we just wail on him with the sword. And turn, his turn. He puts on shielding and tries to damage me. I can't deal any damage because he's got more shield than I can deal damage in a single turn. I could throw the Firestar, but I've got a plan for that, so I'm not going to. There we go. Reorganize now to claim this item. So this is something interesting. If I click this reorganize button, I can basically skip my turn, but I can move stuff around in my backpack. This isn't very useful for what I have in my backpack, but it would mean I could get this water flask, which has 4 uses, adds 1 energy when used, and when out of those 4 uses, is destroyed and removed from my inventory. That's pretty good, because it's kind of like the meal, but has... Actually, it's exactly like the meal. Both of them have a 0 energy requirement. Both of them give me 4 energy before being destroyed. That's funny. It's just this one gives me 1, and this one gives me 2. Huh, that's neat. But no, I've got this opportunity to wipe him out because he's only got 19 health and he's not attacking, which means 1, 2, 3, I win, and I level up. Which means I get another 4 spaces in my backpack. And I'm going to put him over here. There we go. Let's get some new items. Ooh, okay, so I was lucky and I got the water flask anyways. But I got some other stuff as well. Okay, so we got a tunic here. Adjacent to diagonal armor gets +1 to their block stat, and add 5 block every turn. This one, Wizard's Robe, Conductive, add 2 block, and add 2 mana to the connected mana network. So we don't have access to anything that does mana yet because we haven't left the tutorial dungeon. Which makes it weird that this Wizard's Robe is showing up, but it's probably because it's rare. It's a rare item, and I have the lucky ring, so I have a higher chance of getting rare items. Well, obviously, first of all, the best way to reorganize would be like that. Honestly, it would actually be like this. Because now, if I were to pick up something like bronze breastplate, actually, no, the other way was better. Like this. So if I take this bronze breastplate, adjacent diagonal armor gets +2 to its block. That just means that if I were to place this here, it is now affecting all of those items with white around them. That means these shoes are now gaining, see, 3 times leather boots and bronze breastplate +2. So now it's dealing 5 block per turn instead of just 3. Very handy. Now the chestplate itself is also giving me 2 block, which is very nice. That means I actually have 7 block per turn if I keep this, and this weapon now deals 8 damage. Does the shield count as armor? No. As you can see, it is labeled as shield common, whereas the boots are labeled as footwear armor common. The wording of things is very important in this game, and that's something I had to learn. Just because something provides shield does not mean it counts as armor. Which can be annoying sometimes when you think you have the right item for a good combo, and then you find out, no, actually you don't at all have the right item for a combo. That's like this. It's called Shuriken Weapon, and it's a projectile. So all 3 of those words could apply to something. I've run into stuff that only applies to projectiles. I've run into stuff that only applies to shurikens, which is annoying when there's throwing knives in the game, and they're different. They're not shurikens, they're throwing knives. But yeah. So I think we're gonna take this and actually leave everything else behind. Yeah, because the bronze breastplate is just a better version of the tunic, kind of. The tunic actually adds more block on its turn. It adds 5, but it only gives +1 to nearby things. Whereas the bronze breastplate, it only gives 2, so it's 3 less, but it's giving +2 to the boots underneath it, so it's actually only 1 less, and it's giving me +1 damage as well. So I think it's better than the tunic. Now, if you're going for a heavy block build, then yeah, obviously the tunic would be better. But I'm going for a more hit stuff hard and take less damage kind of strategy, so we're gonna go with that instead. Do I want to take anything else with me? I'm likely not going to get enough XP from the next fight to level up again. More tank, less brick wall. Yeah, exactly. I'm actually going to drop the meal, believe it or not. Because do I have anything uncommon in my inventory? No, it's all common loot. So I'm actually going to take the water flask. Since they're identical, this works for me. And we're going to go after the next fight. Okay, so there's another fight. And there's 2 enemies there, actually, now that I've noticed. I didn't actually know that I could see how many enemies would be there and what enemies would be there. Huh. That's new to me. It's not new to the game, it's been there the whole time, but... Right, okay. Yeah, all items can be spun, which is very helpful when reorganizing your backpack. Okay, new enemy, new icon. So this enemy is the Robber Raccoon. He's going to try and steal 11 gold from me in the upcoming turn, and if I don't hit him to stop him, then he will. So I'm going to block because I would have taken 1 damage, and I'm going to hit this guy simply because he has less health and I don't know his attack strategy yet. I know this guy is going to attack and then defend and then attack and then defend and then attack and then defend. So let's hit you. Let's hit you again. Let's hit you. Oh, I'm out of energy. Right. End turn. So he just took 8 gold from me because I only had 8. I didn't have 11. But now he's going to try and run away this turn. I'm not going to let that happen. So I'm going to hit him with my sword again. Boom. He will not take any action this turn. So now he's going to stay here. He still has my money, but he's now going to stay here. I'm actually going to hit him again, because I want that money back. And now we can start the fight as normal with this guy. The whole back and forth we have. I can't deal any damage to him this turn. Actually, I can just barely take out his 16 shield because I now deal 8 damage per hit. Boom. See? 16. Okay. 1, 2, 3. One more hit of the sword would knock him out. But that's fine, because I can just go 1, 2, 3, and he's gone. So I'm given the option to get more items. The only problem being, I have no space in my backpack. And this is a uncommon item, yeah. Fish, consumable. On use, gives 1 energy, is then destroyed. So it's basically 1/4 of the water flask. A heart ring gives me 5 extra health, which is not bad. The poison star is a shuriken. The spade cleaver. Need a chest to store and come back for. That's funny. I am not going to elaborate on that at all. Just need a drink of water. Now I could switch out my wooden sword for a club. But the problem with the club is that every time it's used each turn, it increases its cost by 1. So on the first turn, the first time I swing the club, it will cost 1 energy to swing. If I want to swing the club again that same turn, it's going to cost 2 energy, which means I only get 2 attacks instead of 3. But it adds weak to the enemy, which likely means they deal less damage. Yeah, will reduce X damage when attacking. Yeah. So anyone I hit with the club will deal 3 less damage every time I hit them. So I could reduce an enemy's damage by 6, but it would use up all the energy I have that turn. Yeah, I think I might leave all this stuff here on the ground. Let's go to this fight. I'm not forgetting about the stuff back there. I'm just seeing what else I can run into. This bee is not going to take any action this turn, but I'm not going to take any damage from this bearded dragon this turn, and I can kill that bee in a single round of combat. So, there we go. He's down. Now I don't have to worry about that. The choices are way too hard. The choices are what you'll spend most of your time in this game debating on. I'm going to be completely honest here. So he deals no damage because I have enough shield, but now, he's going to try and add 3 burn. Now that would mean, if I didn't, I think this is how burn works. The stats effects in this game still confuse me a little. If I receive burn, I think it has to go through my armor first before it deals damage, but if he gave me 3 burn, that would mean at the start of my next turn, I would take 3 damage, and I would still have 2 burn. Then I would take 2 damage, and I'd still have 1 burn, and I'd take 1 burn damage, and then burn would be gone. So that's a long-term status effect, if I'm not mistaken. But armor can mitigate that. It just kind of forces you to have armor every turn. But luckily, he's only got 16 health, and I deal more than that per turn, so... Ta-da! Woo! A machete! Now, problem with machete, you can only use it once per turn, but it costs nothing to use. So it's like, okay, interesting. And then there's the whetstone. I don't know what the point of the whetstone is. Like, the rough whetstone, I don't understand why you'd ever use this. There are other whetstones, which you can only use once per turn, but they give you a benefit for the entire battle. The rough whetstone gives 3 damage to weapons that are next to it. So if I put it like here, then if I used it, this weapon would gain 3 damage. Here's the problem in that though. It costs 1 energy. So I can make this sword deal 3 extra damage for the rest of my turn. Not the rest of the battle, just the rest of that turn. But I have to sacrifice the 8 damage I could have done in that turn. So with the wooden sword, even in its basic form of only dealing 7 damage, I have to remove the ability to deal 7 damage so that with my next 2 hits, I deal 3 more each time. So that means I lose 7 damage, and gain 6. That's a loss. And then I don't get that benefit the next turn. I lose that benefit next turn. I don't know what the point of the rough whetstone is. I assume it has to be for throwing a whole bunch of these stars at once, because they already deal low amounts of damage, and that rough whetstone would actually double their damage, which would be really good for them. So yeah, on a typical weapon, I don't understand the point of using the rough whetstone. But I'm sure it has a use somewhere, just not with my current loadout at all. None of this is gonna fit in my backpack. Is there any more battles? Yes. Okay, there's another battle. I'll get more backpack space from one of these. This is against 3 enemies. That's against 2. Okay. Yeah, and do I want any of these items? Not really. None of them scream, I need this now. Yeah, okay. Onwards. Okay, so they're both going to try and attack me, but again, I can knock out this bee in one round of combat. So, 1, 2. Now I'm only taking 6 damage. I'm fine. Hit you for 8. Next turn. They're going to put 15 defense on, but that's fine because 1, 2, 3, combat over. I level up. I get more space in my backpack. Ooh, but I only get 3. So what I'm going to do here is something we call a pro strat. If we go like this, there's a funny thing we can do with this. Namely, the fact that we can take our boots here and how they give us 5 block. Hold on. We can go like this. Boop. Now they give us 6 block because there's 1 more space above them. Yep. Yep. That's what I just did. A scimitar deals 7 damage when an adjacent or diagonal item is destroyed. Plus 1 damage to this combat. Interesting. So if I were to, because anytime an item permanently leaves your backpack, that's called destroying it. So if you throw a fire star, it's destroyed, and I'm putting air quotes on that. It's not actually destroyed, you just can't use it again. And it's gone from your backpack. That counts as destruction. So that's cool. You can put a scimitar next to a whole bunch of like food items or potions or throwing knives or whatever, or shurikens, and every time you use those for the rest of that combat, the scimitar does more damage. That's pretty cool. You really need to know the mechanics. No, you just need to learn them. And I'm just teaching you all of the mechanics all at once, instead of letting you learn them slowly. I'm going to take this cleaver with me, because that's important for later. I'm going to take... Is there any... Okay, so the scimitar is the only rare item here. You know what? I'm going to drop you, take you, do this, and put that in. Yeah, and I'm going to go and trade this scimitar for a more expensive item, because it's already a rare item. So I will get a legendary weapon or a legendary item if I trade this in. So we're going to go do that now. Yeah, back to this unknown event, which we know what it is. It's the rat.
What are you trading?
Yes, I'd like to get a rare item of the same variety. So I will get... Okay, it's the same variety, so I'm going to get a legendary weapon from this. He takes the item and examines it.
How's this for a trade? There's no time to say no.
A pickaxe. Okay. On kill of a non-summoned enemy, create a gem. On use, it deals 1 damage. Each turn for each adjacent gem, plus 1 damage this combat. Interesting. Don't know if this is super useful to my current build. It isn't. But the scimitar wasn't either, so... This is very big. It takes up an Arrow Keys Tetris piece worth of space. to use classic video games as an example. So, I could put this in my inventory if I just... Yeah, if I just went like this. There we go. that fits. So if an enemy has 2 health left, I can use this to create a gem. I won't have any space in my inventory for the gem, but it's a legendary weapon. Let's go to this fight. What a sucker. Yeah, I heard that, rat. Okay, so... yes, that is a lot of damage they're going to try and deal. So I'm going to add 7 block. I now have 15 block, so I can take these 2 easily. Which is good, because I can kill you with the remaining 2 energy. Excellent. LOL, I forgot you could turn items in your inventory. Yep. You can fit a lot of stuff in your backpack you really didn't think you could fit in your backpack if you just whoop, turn it around. And turn, I will take no damage. Excellent. I'm going to automatically block that attack because I have 8 block. So I'm just going to deal damage to you, actually. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. And he's down. That's the end of my turn. You don't have enough block to block me. I don't have enough block to block you either. There we go, now I do. 1, 2, you take 2 damage. Next turn. You deal no damage, you attempt to block, but 1, 2, 3, you're now low health. Next turn. I can't kill you this turn, so I'm going to block. 1, 2, I deal 1 damage. Next turn. They attempt to block, but it is futile. There we go. Ooh, this is a fun one. Double halberd. If there is an adjacent weapon, -3 damage, and it only deals 4 damage to start. But it deals 4 damage to every enemy on screen. So the more enemies, you fight very quickly. Yes, that's because there's other stuff in this game I want to get to that's not in the tutorial dungeon, but I'm explaining everything. So I've explained the basics of combat. I tell you about any new stuff we run into, but other than that, I'm just gonna speed through combat. At this rate, I'm gonna need a second glass of water. Okay, there's not really anything here I want. Ah, here we go. This is a weapon that's a projectile, but it's not a shuriken. So it doesn't work with anything that enhances shuriken specifically. Also, Montana Big Sky redeemed a stretch goal, so I've got to take a moment. And stretch. There we go. Liquid armor, that's a fun potion I've used once or twice. There's our meal again. But no, I think we're good with what we've got. Finish choosing. Now, there's some other stuff we haven't been to. This little statue gives us 5 HP. When we click on it, there's no fights left. So we might as well... Actually, let's check this chest of valuables first. Not gonna take the double halberd. Nope, I don't have the space, and I would have to put it next to another weapon as it is. On another run, most definitely, I definitely would. But not this run. Okay, nothing super interesting here. Just a shuriken, another chest plate, key, and a club. Yeah, I'm glad we didn't go for that earlier. Back here, grab the health. We gained 5 health, but we're at maximum already, so it doesn't matter. And onwards through the next door. Just barely fit. The crypt part 2 of 3. So we have one more room after this. So let's jump into the next fight immediately, shall we? Yeah. The battle begins! Okay, so I will auto-block you, but I won't auto-block you, but you only have 24 health, so we mark that guy with this little square which says who we're fighting. 1, 2, 3, and now I won't take any damage this turn. Sometimes the best defense is a good offense. Okay, it's more efficient for me to go for the back guy. 1, 2, 3. Next. No damage. Now it's more efficient for me to go for the front guy. 1, 2, 3. And I'll still take no damage. Boom. I still won't take any damage. 1, he's knocked out. 2, 3, he's now very low on health. And he is down. What do we get? We get a gold cleaver. Ooh. A tunic. A damaged knife. A heart ring. A throwing star. Disgusting food. And a small key. You know what? Adjacent and diagonal cleavers gain +1 damage. Ha! That's funny. You know what? Just to have a gold cleaver, I might take that. It deals the same amount of damage. Yep. So it's equivalent. Let's go up here. Let's try and level up the backpack. This might get us to level up the backpack. Okay, this guy's just dealing damage, and that won't go through my shield. This guy, on the other hand, is going to add 4 burn, so he needs to go. And he does. Next turn, blocked. Next turn. 1, 2, 3. He's down. New items. It's amazing how easy fighting can get when you have a well-designed build. That's a basic cleaver, small key, rough whetstone, meal, liquid shield, dart, bronze breastplate. Yeah, no, nothing. Nothing that strikes my fancy there, so alright. Ah, we will level up on the next fight though. Nice. The bronze chestplate has been really handy. Yes. I really enjoy items like the bronze breastplate, which increase defense and increase damage. Okay, so interesting. So I can't knock you out in 1 turn, and if I did, I would take a lot of damage. So let's see, that would be 16 damage. Am I fine with that? Am I fine with that? Yeah. Yeah, I think I am. Yeah, alright. So we'll hit them once. And we'll hit them twice. Yeah, so I'm gonna take 1 damage this turn, but it's 1 damage. Bam, bam, bam. 1 damage. Oh well. That just means I can take you out. I could take him out with the pickaxe if I wanted to. You know what? I might just. Bonk. I have a gem now. I can't actually fit into my inventory. Adjacent weapons below get +3 damage. But I can't move anything around my inventory. I have to have an empty space. So this is the advantage of having some empty space in your inventory as well. It allows you to add stuff if need be. But I can't, so oh well. And then we'll just hit you. Go. I just realized this is a bigger rat. Yeah. This is a small rat wolf, and this is a rat wolf. Yeah. So that is going to be 18 damage. I can block 15, but I can't actually break either of the blocks this turn anyways, so there we go. Let's just overblock, why not? 29, come on, come at me! Okay, so you can go down 3. Boom, and then next guy, next turn. Block that. 1, 2, you take 2 damage. You deal 0. I deal 24. You get 16 block, which just means that, yeah, I can't break your block this turn. So we're just gonna overblock, and then knock you out this turn. Game over for you. Okay, so what I'd love to do is I'd love to add more up or down to my backpack, but at this point I can't. This is the limit that the boots can get for armor is 4, from what I can tell. There might be other backpacks where that's not the case, but for this backpack, that is the case. I've got space for 3, so I'm going to add these 3 slots. Oh, wow. The crystal gauntlets. Adjacent melee weapon gets +3 damage, and they take up the same space as the pickaxe. This is new. Red hoodie. Clothing armor. On take damage. Adds 3 max health. Disabled for the rest of this combat. Huh. A leftover hoodie from before Ordaria. The spires that spun this thread must have been strange indeed. Is this a reference to a different game? Is this a reference to a different game? I wonder. Because there are references to other games in this game. So I wonder if that's one of them. Okay. So this is a sapphire. This is a very cool gem. It's very annoying though because, and I'll show you why, it floats. It doesn't matter how much I want it at the bottom of my backpack. It will always float to the top slot of the backpack. What's really fun with this is sometimes you can design your backpack to have these pockets where you go like this around something. So if I did this, like if I did an L, then I have a pocket here that would hold it as low as I want it to be. But because I haven't designed that into my backpack, it floats to the top. Now I can mitigate this by going like that. Let's see. Here we go. This is starting to work. I wanted to try and find some way of fitting these gauntlets into my inventory. But I don't think that's gonna work. I don't think there's any orientation of all this that will work. Also, these count as armor, so here's a fun thing. If I put these gloves, which only increase my damage, they now increase my defense as well. There we go, so if I was to do this... Yeah. So now these gauntlets give me +2 defense, which is funny. Not enough spaces with the sapphire. Yeah, though, not really enough spaces. Oh. Ha ha ha! Ha 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 ha! Hey, 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 there we go. So I can actually get that, I can get the crystal gauntlets. That's funny. I would only be losing this gold cleaver, which cleavers are pretty common. That's funny, I got that to work. And not only did I get that to work, but I got the crystal gauntlets to actually increase the damage of the pickaxe as well. So now it deals 4 damage. Oh, that's funny. It deals, yeah, it gives +3. So now this wooden sword deals 11 damage per hit. This thing is just, it does more damage than a basic club now. That's amazing. Also, there's this left glove. Oh, I was thinking this was a different item. The left glove, for each column to the right, gain 1/2 block. So if I was to put this on this side of my inventory, I'd get 1, 2 block. Which is kind of funny. So if I put it like here, I would gain 2 block. That's pretty handy. There's definitely a build that this works for, because here's the thing. While you notice that I can only grow the backpack vertically up to 5 slots in total, the left and right distance your backpack can go is actually way more than its vertical distance. So these become very powerful very quickly if you have a very wide backpack, which there are builds that require wide backpacks. It's kind of funny that that is a thing. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave the gold cleaver here. I'm gonna keep the lucky ring, because I can always find cool stuff. And yeah, I guess we're going to continue onward. Woo! Woo! This is a big place. There's something to collect here. What is it? Ooh, it's a little white tree. What does this do? It gives me 5 XP. I'll take that. So we have a chest, we have a shop, we have a collapsing part of the tunnel, we have a staircase, and we have 2 unknown events. Okay, so how this works, the dungeon is collapsing here. This means when I walk on this space, I have a choice to make. I can either go right, or I can go left, and it will lock off the other path. I don't know what this something to collect is. It could be gold, it could be health, it could be XP. I do know what this is though. It's gold. This is gold. You go here, you get some gold. There's a shop on this floor. Probably a good idea if I went for the gold. But, and this is something I've forgotten so many times, this is the last floor. On the upcoming floor is the boss. I am not going to level up any more from this point. My backpack size is now locked because there is no more fights on this floor, there is only the boss. So that's something to always keep in mind when doing stuff. Let's see. Let's grab the gold. See, and there it goes. So I gain 5 gold. Not bad. What's at the shop? Sorry, no, what am I saying? Want to see what I have today? Here's what I've got. Interesting, quite the selection. We've got Violet. Violet? Yeah, Violet Energy. We've got the Happy Buckler. We've got Lucky Star. Lucky Stars are fun. You gain luck, but of course it's destroyed, so you only gain luck for 1 battle. Emoji, yep. The Happy Buckler is basically just a happy emoji. But it's a small shield. Gives 5 block. +1 to the energy cost for this combat though, so... yeah, not great. Yeah, so, and it's for this combat, not for this turn. So, if you use this on turn 1, it will cost 2 until you are attacked. So, it gets more expensive the more energy you put into it. It gets less expensive the more times you're hit without blocking. So, it's a nice little buff, but it's not as good as the Buckler. There are shields that are between these two in ability, though. Huh, okay. No, I don't think there's anything I actually. No, I do want at least one of these when I leave the dungeon. Let's go to this unknown event. Let's see what's up.
Care to do a trade?
Not really. I'm gonna be honest, yeah. No thanks. Now, I could give him the legendary weapon and get something potentially even better. Or I could get a better shield. But, yeah, no trade just yet. What's the other unknown event? Ah, I hope you aren't too hungry. Age has crept in around his snout. You can see the white fur and shaggy edges from around his coat. I'm getting out of the game, he says. If you have something to eat, I might as well give you my cleaver. Trade food for a cleaver. Okay, so if I had any food items in my inventory, which I don't, then I could give that to him and he'd give me a random cleaver. Which is pretty cool. But I don't have it. Return to leave. Sure you won't change your mind? Yeah, no food, so can't give him anything. Let's regenerate a little bit of health. There we go. There's the 1 health that we lost earlier. And what's in the box? It's not a box, it's a mimic. It's a hermit crab mimic. Okay, so you're going to deal 10 damage, but that's fine because of my new crystal gauntlets, I actually block that attack. Haha. 1, 2, 3. Your turn. Oops, you dealt no damage. 1. Okay, what'd you have in ya? A bunch of little stuff. Now this is a consumable. That counts as food. If I were to take this to the other guy, he would give me a random cleaver. Which is interesting. But again, I still don't have any space in my inventory, and I want to keep my shield for the boss. What kind of wood is that sword made of? Hard. Hardwood. I'd give you a specific tree, but I don't know my tree hardnesses, so. Huh. I don't think there's anything here I want to take with me. But that was a fun little surprise battle. Always be watching for mimics. Anything I want to trade in? I could try and get a better shield from the suspicious salesman. Huh. But better shields often come with disadvantages is the problem. The basic shield is surprisingly good. Because it has no downsides. Other than how big it is. It's very big. Nah, I'll just leave it. I'll leave it, yeah. Exit. Let's leave the crypt. just realized I'm probably gonna have to give up one of these items after the fight, if I'm not mistaken. Oh well. Onwards! Let's go! The crypt finale. There's the boss. Wait a second. I recognize that. It's my mom's lost locket. It could have a clue about where she is, and that is why we're down in the crypts. It belonged to your mother. There's something inside it, but only your mother knew how to open it. Ah. Oh! This is property of the king! That's mine. All items in the dungeon belong to him. If you want it, you're gonna have to fight me for it. Alright, you're only doing 12 damage per turn. So, first of all, blocked. Second of all, bish bash. Oops, no damage. Oh, you're just going to attack me every turn. Alright. I can deal with that. And turn. Oh, you decided to deal less damage this turn. That's a shame. You win. Give me that locket. Huh. Okay. Yeah, so I was right. I am gonna have to drop something. Shurikens are very common. There we go. So yeah, that was the first boss. I'm gonna tell you right now, pretty much every boss you fight is harder than that. Ah, ooh, there's a chest of valuables down here as well. Well, don't mind if I do. Ah, cheese! It's always cheese, but... yes, golden cheese. Sells for 25 extra food in Haverstack Hill, and sells for 25 extra treasure in Haverstack Hill. Yes, cheese. Glass Joe over here didn't exactly put up much of a fight. No, he didn't. I wanna keep the lucky ring, so I'm actually, since there's no fights left, I'm gonna drop the shoes. Yeah, I'm gonna take the golden cheese with me. Or I could drop the shield. I'll drop the shield. Yeah. Yep, okay. Onwards. Welcome to Haverstack Hill. Quite the village we have here of nothing. By Anna's quills, purse, there you are. Why were you gone for so long? Well, let's tell him the truth, shall we? I was exploring the dungeon. We talked about this. You promised to only stay near the entrance. I found this amazing backpack in there. It let me explore deeper and bring more stuff back than ever before. Besides, we won't be able to rebuild the town with what we can find laying in the woods. That may be, but do I need to remind you how dangerous it is in there? You're exaggerating, I remember. You're exaggerating. It's not that bad. Besides, I want to make a difference. They should see you fight. There's bandits, King's Guard, and who knows what else. Still, Dad, someone needs to do something. It's what Mom would do. Your mom would also know to be more careful. Don't worry, I'll be careful. You're right, I'm sorry, Dad. I'll try to be more careful, but I have to do this. I suppose there's no convincing you. Just promise me you'll be careful, Purse. Dad, I found something in the dungeon, and I think it's Mom's locket. I saw one of the King's captains down there. I think he might have been there the day Mom was taken. Let me see that. There you go. This was your mother's locket. I recognize it, of course. She found this in the dungeon. She always claimed it was magic and the source of her luck down there. I remember she had some way of opening this thing. There was always a challenge for me. Dang it, I can't get this thing. Come back to me next time you're around. I'll figure it out. Dang, Lucket. And there's someone else. There's Czar. You look rough. Did you fall for the old hermit crab in the treasure chest trick? Yes. Yes, I did. I just came back from the dungeon. I figured. I always knew you'd... Yeah. I always know you're gone down there when old Lewis starts pacing by the entrance of town. I hate to worry him, but there's so many things down there that can help rebuild the town. But the dungeon keeps shifting and I can't get deep enough. It is tricky down there. It took my brother Baz years to make any progress in his explorations. I don't know how my mom did it. Yeah, that Prada was something special. I sure do miss her. Anyways, did you find anything good to sell down there? I found this magic backpack. It lets me carry lots of stuff. How about the backpack? Is it for sale? No way. This backpack lets me carry all sorts of stuff back to town. Well, if you bring back more stuff, we can scrap it and sell it, if only we had a store to sell it at. Why don't you remove the old store? We can get some resources from that. Follow me and I'll show you where it is. There's the old store. Rubble. Destroy it to make more space. You should destroy the old store. Enter build mode and choose destroy. I'll show you where the shop is. Yeah, it's right here. Destroy. Boom. We've destroyed the old store. Wow, you sure scrapped that old store quickly. Doesn't look like rubble to me. It had some holes in the roof and walls, so it could have been repaired, but it definitely wasn't worth running a shop out just yet. Here's a blueprint for a new one. Could you make it? New construction, store, sell items here, gain resources to expand Haverstack Hill. For each commercial decoration nearby, plus 5% efficiency. It'll take a few resources to build, but you've got a few when you scrapped the old store. You should set up a new store now. I'm going to do that over here. Here's the store. I'm in the way. Okay, can I destroy this rubble? I need 20 people in Haverstack Hill to destroy that. Okay. So I guess we'll have to just make do with it being up here. We have built the new general store. I built a store. When I said you should build a store, I meant over the next few weeks. How did you do it so fast? It's this backpack I found. I can lift, move, carry, and organize anything, even buildings. This changes everything. With what you can do now, I think we could really rebuild Haverstack Hill. I'll start setting up the store as a trading post. You should head back to the dungeon to find more supplies. Get her done. Yeah. That backpack is something else. So yes, this is Haverstack Hill. What a... charming little town. Can I destroy this? No. Can I destroy this? No. Yes, it has exactly 2 residents and myself. Needless to say, this town is completely abandoned. But, yeah, that's the other half of this game. City management. And boy, do you have some space to manage your city. Like, this is a surprisingly large map for how little you can build right at the start. Yeah. So needless to say, we'll be coming back to this at some point. Back into the dungeon, though. As you can see, there are multiple playable characters, but I don't have these people yet. I'm going to be completely honest. I've played for a good 4 hours on my other account. I haven't gotten them there either. So yes, Purse is the name of our character. So we have Purse, whose mother is Prada, and whose father is Lewis. This game has a sense of humor. It's very funny when you notice it. Okay, so we only have access to a standard ride at the moment, so let's go adventuring. Let's try and make this quick so it doesn't take another hour. Because at this rate, I'm not going to get to show off the funny thing that happens later. Okay, we have the choice between money and a chest, so we're gonna go for the fight first. Okay, so block. And block again, and damage you. So that I can probably take you out. I can't take you out next turn unless I can block. I cannot block. I don't have to block. Okay. 1, 2, give me my money back. Block, block. Honestly, end turn. 1, 2, 3. Next turn. Block, block, end turn. And bish, bash, bosh. You're dead. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got items. What do we get? Ooh, that's a new one. I don't think I've seen this in my playthrough. Heavy blade. This item is heavy. Ah, yes. Fun thing with heavy items. They're the opposite of floating items. They refuse to be anywhere but the bottom of your inventory, and will clear anything out if there's anything in the way. So yes, that's fun. Shoe hat. If this is not in the top row, it doesn't work. Disabled. Shoe hat. Every turn, add 3 block if it's enabled. So if it's up here in the top row, I get 3 block. Now here's the thing. See that little blue icon there? That means this item has more than one variation. And I can right click and transform it from a boot hat to just a shoe. For each row above this, plus 1 block. So, as it is right now, if your inventory is only... Oh yeah, and you can also transform this item by turning it upside down, which is very funny. I like that. If this item is here, or somehow here, and that's the top of your backpack, it won't be. But if this is the top of your backpack because you haven't bought any higher spaces, it is better to put the shoe hat here. However, if you have a 4th space or more in your inventory, it is better to have the shoe hat at the bottom of your inventory, because it will give you just as much going here as it will going here. So, yeah. Interesting. So yeah, shoe hat, not bad. Great for tall inventories. Ooh, Rose of Thorns. That's also fun. Adds 5 slow to all enemies. You know what? I might just take this. Oops, there we go. This item is heavy, but it deals 8 damage where mine deals 7. And it adds 5 slow to all enemies. On kill. Interesting, so that's not on hit, but it deals more damage. I'm gonna take that. It sounds like fun. And we're gonna add the Rose of Thorns. Yes. Okay, onwards. There's 2 enemies there. I'll probably level up again. Okay, so block. 1, 2. They'll take damage when they hit me. There we go. Because of the thorns. Spikes will deal 1 damage if you are attacked. Reorganize now to claim this item. Yeah, no, I'd take a bunch of damage if I did that. Ooh. There we go. What does slowness do? Slow will reduce block by 5 when blocking. Ooh, okay, so that's what the slowness effect does. Gonna block that. And I can't break your shield. But I can pretend to. Yeah, they're only gonna be able to put up 9 block now. Ooh, okay. And okay, so it reduces block by the amount of slow they have on them, and they lose 1 per turn. That's pretty cool. Block that. 1, 2. Deal 7 damage still. And next turn I can just hit them once. And they're down. There we go. I gain another 4 spaces. I'm going to make those bases these 4. Of course the sword immediately falls down. Forgot about that. Ooh, the Sweaty Towel Shield. Adds 12 block, but adds 3 burn to self. That's not bad, because, yeah, this now reminds me, burn has to go through shield first. And you get 12, which means you actually get 9. You get 9 block from this, from the 3 burn that you receive as well. So you have to count this as getting 3 shield, not 12. But the problem is you then get the 2 burn for the next 2 turns. So if you don't have more than 2 armor, then you'll still take damage. Huh. That was weird. Okay. Dice, alternate use. On alternate use, destroyed, reroll your combat rewards, yeah. What's funny is I could use this right now and reroll everything that's here if I didn't like it. I find that really funny. Oh, that's a hydrate command, give me a moment. Okay. You know what? Just because it's funny, I'm going to use this. Okay. What's great about that is it gave me the bronze buckler. So, that's great, actually. That was a brilliant use of that die. Why does it not show the screen anymore with the big water bottle? It? Wait, did it not? Oh, it didn't show the commands. Huh. I don't know. I'm gonna have to fix that after the stream. Terribly sorry. I thought that would be working everywhere. The command things are broken. Huh. That's weird. I don't know why that is. I'm very confused. Yeah, I have an idea of why that might be happening, but no solid theories. Okay, let's get rid of the bee immediately. Yeah, there's no water bottle appearing. One for Jade as well. Well, we're gonna have to take Jade's word on that one. Because, he's not audible. He's just in the chat today. I'm actually gonna reorganize this after the battle. I've come up with a better way of organizing this. You're gonna deal 6 damage. I have 6 blocks, so and you're gonna take 1 damage from the thorns as well. Man, I had a really good thorns build one time in this game. I had like 6 of these things, and enemies would just... I would put up a whole bunch of block, and enemies would just hit the thorns on the front of the shield. It was hilarious. Ooh, okay, well, we're taking that with us. Conscription Etching. This item has a use in Haverstack Hill, so we need to keep this with us all the way to the end. So, yeah. LOL, I don't have a drink here, give me a sec, I'll run it back. No, you didn't miss anything. There's just this etching that we found, if you missed that. Okay, so I'm gonna reorganize this. This goes over here. This... Oh, wait. This meal goes on its side. Ignore the fact the plate is on its side. I'll put that there. Yeah, okay. Now it's affecting everything properly. So now we're getting 6 block from that. And we're getting 2 block from that. So we're getting 8 block. This is dealing 9 damage. That's dealing 5 damage. Oh yeah. Everything's coming together. You know what? Actually, okay. I drop this. Put this up here. Put that there. This ring there. Boom! Now we're dealing 10 damage. We're getting lucky. We have the thorns. We have the cleaver. We have everything. Yes. Yes, I do like this. Yes. Alright. Let's see what this mysterious event is. Let's make a deal. Okay. Get rare item of the same type. Okay. Do we have anything that's already rare? That is, but I don't think I can give him that. Let's upgrade the shield. Higher tier shields are usually smaller, so let's go with that.
How's this for a trade?
Ooh, the tragic comedy shield. Okay. Okay, I can deal with that. That is a smaller shield. Interesting. Okay. Okay, let me explain how this shield works. The tragic comedy shield is pretty cool. On use, it adds 8 block. So already, this is better than our basic shield that gave us 7 block. But it has an alternate mode. If we were to transform it from the tragic comedy shield with comedy showing, or the tragic comedy shield with tragedy showing, now we can't use it as a shield, but when we take damage, we add 11 block. This doesn't help all the time, but there are situations where it will be more effective to not block and to use this instead. Because if you add block during an attack, I think you keep that to your next turn, or maybe it's just for when you're fighting a bunch of enemies. But yeah, it has an alternative because it's comedy and tragedy. It's the theater masks. That's cool. Excellent. I am glad to have found that. Chest of valuables, thing to collect. Chest of valuables, thing. Chest of valuables. I'm gonna pick that. Ooh, okay. More shoes. Well, that's great because we can do this. And then we can take that. And huge hazard below. I think I'm gonna take the armor actually. Yeah. Okay, there we go. So now we have, what is this? 5 block, 6 block, 2 block. So that's a lot of block. has a lot of block right there. Whew. Plus extra damage on that and that. Yeah. We are doing fine when it comes to blocking damage. And dealing damage, actually. So yeah, let's see. We've got 13 block and we haven't even used a shield. Of course, it looks like the game has fixed with that. That's fine. Could you move things around to give the other shoe hat more defense? No. Unfortunately not, because the shoes only count how many spaces there are above them. So if I move this shoe here, it would count the same as if it was here because there's just one less space above it as well. So moving it horizontally didn't really change anything. I'll just add more space to the backpack next time I get an upgrade. Okay. So 3, 3, 4. That's gonna be 10 damage, and that's 11, so 22 damage. Yeah, let's block. 21 damage. Yeah, I could have only dealt 30 damage in a round of combat anyways, so that's fine. What if you moved the breastplate above the other hat? Actually, that would have been the same because adjacent and diagonal armor, so it's actually already affecting this shoe hat. So it does all the spaces around it. So this is actually the best place to put it because now every item in my inventory, if it was armor, would apply to the chest plate. Yeah, no, believe me, I've missed that it says diagonal or adjacent a lot of times. It's probably the reason why it puts these dyed lines around everything, because they really help. Okay, so I'm gonna take 1 damage from this if I don't do anything else. You know what? Transform. Oh, transform takes 1 energy. Interesting. So now it's the tragedy shield instead of the comedy one. And then deal 10 damage. So let's see what happens to that 11 armor I get. 1, 2, 3, boom. I didn't take any damage. What? What? You're about to deal 26 damage. Whew. That's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt a lot. Let's get rid of you. You now have slow, but you aren't going to even try and block, are you? That's... Yep, nope, it's better to leave that as that, because that might actually make it so I don't take as much damage. Ow. Yeah, so that armor meant nothing. Transform that back. 12 damage, I can take that. Good thing you're about to go down. There we go. Okay, so yes, so to upgrade this shoe, I'm gonna put one of my spaces there. I get 2 more spaces, so I'm gonna put them not right here, because this is a heavy sword and this is a light gem. So if I put a spot here, then this gem will go up and I won't be able to have these 2 items next to each other. I need a 4 space area to put these 2 items. So I'm actually going to select these 2 spaces. No. No, actually I'm going to select these 2 spaces. In case I get more items that can upgrade my sword. Ooh, or something like this. Yeah, because you're heavy. Yeah, we have the double halberd. So if I was to put this here, and then put the gem next to it, I have another shoe hat. Also, I have a roof. This is a heavy item. Structures beneath this get +1 block. I have never dabbled with the structure system in this game, but you can build a little... literally, I am not kidding on this. You can build a little village inside your backpack and use that as your shield. I don't even know. Like, what? What? It baffles me. I don't understand it. Okay, I'm gonna put this here. Put that. We have so much defense. This is getting ridiculous. And take the poison star. Why not? Oh, wait. That counts as a weapon. Doesn't it? Yeah, it does count as a weapon. Okay. That's fine. I can put it over here instead. Haha. You have more shoes than you have feet. Yes. Yes, I do. But I'm now gaining 12 block, 14 block, and then another 5 to get... Why am I blanking on math right now? 19 block. Whew. I'm getting 19 block before I even use my shield. And I now deal 6 damage to every enemy on screen whenever I attack. So it's a downgrade of 4 damage, but if there's more than 1 enemy on screen, I damage all of them, which is great. Alright, this is getting funny. This is getting funny right here. Let's grab this gold. Why not? Let's attack this guy. Right, okay, so you're dealing 10, and then you're dealing 7. So that's fine. I'm gonna automatically block that because of how ridiculous my armor setup is. And then I'm gonna hit both of you for 18 damage. 1, 2, 3. Take that. That has gotta sting. Not as much as dealing 0 damage and taking 1 for every time you hit me as well. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, just try it. Just try it. Bonk, bonk. telling you polearms are the best genre of weapon. Yeah, no, I'd agree with you in many cases in this game. There we go. Oh, the toll blade. Oh no, it's the toll blade. Oh, this was so fun the time I got to use it last time. What else we got? The vampire blade, another shoe hat. 4 shoes, 2 feet. What is the toll blade? Okay, this is kind of cool. So it's a melee weapon. Last time I got it, I only had the wooden sword, so this was just a straight up upgrade. The toll blade, it's 4 tall, so it's as tall as this polearm. It does 2 more damage, but it only does it to 1 enemy. But it has an alternate form. Boosh! It can light itself on fire, and now it deals 16 damage, but also deals 4 damage to me. So, yeah, it's kind of, I need you to not be in the fight right now, and I'm willing to take a quarter of my damage for it. Levi 4 shoes, 2 feet Stark. It'd be funny. It'd be funny. I'm not gonna do it, but it'd be funny. Yeah, so I don't think we'll take that though, because we do have the double halberd. It is doing good, and the toll blade isn't necessarily an upgrade from that. Like, yes, I can deal 16 damage to 1 target per hit. But I would then take 4 damage per hit, which if I transformed it that combat, I would get, what is it, 8 damage? So the enemy would have to be dealing a good deal more than 8 damage for me to bother using this. Which, we're at the point where they are doing that. I wonder if that damage is... Does that damage hit my shield first? Ooh, if that damage hits my shield first, this actually is a really good weapon. Ooh. Ooh, that's a good question. Does that... Okay, actually, better question. Do my damage items increase its damage to me as well? They do. Okay, they do. So the more I increase the damage of this weapon, the more damage I deal to myself. But I have 19 defense per turn. Heals for all damage dealt to non-summons. Right. Which is 2. Could be better, but yeah. It's 2 at base. You know what? It'd be fun. It'd be fun. We have so much block. We're going to take it. If I really need it, I have liquid armor. I don't like the deals 6 damage to myself. Yeah, but I'm not... it's not too bad. It's not too bad at current. And it would mean I could just wipe enemies out very quickly. And if it does hit my shield first, then I have enough health to deal with that. Oh, I wish I knew what the current boss was going to be on the next floor. That would basically like make or break this choice. Because if I'm fighting a certain boss on the 3rd floor, I want the polearm. But if I'm not, I'm fine with most other weapons. I'll leave the toll blade for next time. Polearm it is. Anything else I want to take with me? Actually, let's roll the dice. Huh. Not super interested in any of that. Yeah, no? Yeah, no? Another dice. What happens if you die? Game over? When you die, you lose everything in your backpack and can only take a single item back with you. So if you win, you take everything back to Haversack. If you lose, you take 1 item back to Haversack. And in some missions where you have to keep hold of a specific item, you have to take that item. Yeah, roll die again. This item has a use in Haverstack Hill. Huh. Well, I might just take that then. How big is it? Oh, it's a one spacer. Cool. There we go. I have no idea what that's for, but it's useful in Haverstack Hills, so we'll take it with us. Let's grab this something to collect. It's XP. Very nice. Let's see what this is. Oh, hello. You see a wall up ahead, and you think you need to turn back. Then you realize it's not a wall. It's a huge rodent, a capybara.
Hello, friend, he says. I'm looking for items of this type. Shield.
So I could give them my shield, and they'll give me something in return, but I don't know what it is. Now, I'm already generating a lot of armor as it is. I don't necessarily need my shield, and I could potentially use whatever they're going to give me. Bro, what do you need a shield for? You is massive. Well, yeah, they're massive. They need to reduce how much of their large target space is actually damageable. I wish I remembered how this character worked, but I so often don't have the right item. You know what? I might find another shield later. Hold on. You continue onwards. Okay, yeah, there's a chest there, there's a heal spot there, there's a fight here. We might find another shield. Woo! Hi there, boys! Why, hello there! I'm gonna knock most of you out in this first round of combat. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. With the damage that some enemies here have been doing, I would personally take the shield. Yes, but the question is, will they give me a better shield for the shield? That might be why they're wanting one. 1, 2, 3. Most of them are knocked out in the first round, and you're not gonna get away with my money. No, give it back. Okay, so there's no shield here. There is another pole arm. No point in taking a second pole arm, but it is there if I wanted it. Yeah, no, none of this is really worth taking. None of this is worth throwing out what I've got already. There's a shop. Okay, what do you got? Ooh, a hat. I might take the hat, you know? Because if I take the hat, I can put it up here. And then I will get 1, 2, 3, 4 for the hat. That's not bad, though. The damage, though. Yeah, that was some good damage, wasn't it? Emerald Bracelet. Conducted. For each adjacent curse, get +1 energy. Ah. Yeah, not useful at the moment. Leaf Qatar. Qatar. Yeah, Qatar. Yeah. Items this is played on are refreshed and can be used again this turn. So for one-time use items, that's not bad. But I don't have any of those. Let's do that. I'm gonna sell. Actually, I'm gonna sell this potion. There we go. I get a hat. Now what I could do is I could put this hat 1 lower and gain 2. You know what? Actually, that's not bad. Yep. Because now I lose 1 from moving it down, but I gain 2 from moving it down as well. So I actually gain 1 more. So now I'm getting 5, 10, 12, 5, 10, 22, and then another 2, 24. 24 block before I use my shield. Well, alright. Oh, yes, I could do that. Yeah, there we go. The shield's not gaining anything from any of this, but it does look a little nicer, I will agree. See, so I now have 24 defense per turn. Do I need the shield? So you wouldn't have to move the shield. Oh, right. So I could have this here and that there. Right. Guess that does look nice, doesn't it? Well, heck, I could actually do this. Now the Tragedy Comedy Mask is actually facing the right way. But the helmet is above, the chest plate is above the shoes. It means nothing. It's all in the right places, air quotes, but yeah, looks nice. Health. Let's go get the health. There we go. Thank you. Let's check. Actually, no. Let's go over here first. I'm gonna give the shield. Because I am wondering what this does. I'm going to give the shield. It'd be a shame to let go of the shield after upgrading it. It would, but if I'm about to get a shield in return, and I'm already getting so much block as it is, I don't necessarily need the shield. But you have a good point. Yeah, let's see what this does. It takes your item. That's great. Maybe you want one of these instead. There we go. Aha, I now get my pick of shields. So I could have the shove shield, on use, add 7 blocks, pushes the frontmost enemy to the back of the group. I could get my shield back, or I could get the sweaty towel. Interesting. And this takes up just as much space as the previous one. So I get 1 less block, but I push the enemy at the front to the back. Sometimes this is actually important, because there are some enemies which block access to enemies behind them. So pushing an enemy to the back is actually quite useful. Okay. I might take the shove shield. Yeah, that sounds kind of fun. Thank you, Mr. Capybara. I will be on my way now. Thank you for the new shield. Let's just check what's in the box anyways. Oh, that's new. Supplies. Sells for 40 extra material and haversack. Huh! Box of nails. Sells for 8 extra material and haversack. Huh. How big are you? Ooh, you're big. Yeah, you're big. I unfortunately cannot afford you, which is annoying because supplies are very good. Not gonna lie, I thought he'd give you a random selection from like anything in the game. No, I now remember how he works because I've seen it. He gives you whatever item you give him. So if you give him a shield, he gives you a pick of shields. If you give him a sword, he gives you a pick of swords. If you give him food, then he gives you a pick of foods. Usually of the same quality as you give him. All of those were uncommon quality shields, so I'm gonna guess he gives you all of the same rarity. It's very useful once you've unlocked a bunch of items, because there's a bunch of unlocks we can get in this game. We just haven't gotten to that point yet. I kind of want the box of nails. Oh wait, no, I'm gonna have to get rid of it if I don't get more item space. Then I'm gonna get rid of the item anyways. So no, I'm not gonna take any of that. Onwards to the next part of the dungeon. So where's the bad guy? The Ferret King. Okay, that's not too bad. Yeah, this guy's not too bad. He'd be kind of cute if he wasn't such a violent person. 150 health. Okay. I can deal with that. He doesn't have any minions, so this doesn't deal extra damage, essentially. And he's not going to break our shield this turn, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, now he's about to spawn an enemy. So this means that the enemy you're looking at is about to create a minion of some sort. So all those weapons where it was saying doesn't do damage to minions or something like that, that's the issue with this. The reason for that is because you'd be able to get infinite benefit if you could do that. Oh! Alright. You're a bit tougher than expected. Okay, so 3, 4, 7 plus 16 is dealing damage to me. So, and I cannot kill you in 1 round of combat. So I'm going to push the frontmost enemy to the back of the group. Right? No, it won't. Is it not going to do damage to me? Is my math bad? Am I bad at math? I could be bad at math. 23. Thank you. I got that number just a little wrong. Alright, I can block that this turn. Bam, bam, bam. There we go. Excellent. Okay, and now 2 rounds of 13 damage. That is going to break my shield. And deal 2 damage. So, I'm going to block that. Switch you guys' positions. There we go. Wait, do you defend anyone behind you? No, I don't think so. Okay, I'm free to just do a whole bunch of attacks this turn. 1, 2, 3. Because that 8 is not going to break my shield. But there's a bunch of you guys now. And that is a lot of damage. I'm going to knock one of you out this turn, though. It's still going to deal 2 damage to me, though. But if I do this, I'm not knocking him out this turn. And they're going to deal 38 damage. And if I block, I'm going to block 31. Right, so I would either need to block twice or just attack 3 times and knock out that guy. Yeah, okay. I'm going to take 2 damage, but that's fine. I forgot he had a shield. Uh-oh. Ow. Okay, this is getting bad. The main guy still doesn't have a shield, but... That's a lot of damage. Wait, I don't have to count that guy. He'll go down in 2 hits. So as long as I only block once, which, yeah, I'd only block once. Well, actually, if he's only going down in 2 hits... Okay, no, actually, I can do 3 hits, and none of them have armor this time. So, yes, I'm safe to just wail on these guys. There we go. So he's got 26. I deal 6 per hit. So that means I deal 6, 12, 18. So I need 2 more straight rounds of combat where I can just wail on him, and he is dead. He's about to spawn a minion, but I'm not going to take damage this turn. So even though I won't break his shield very much, it's a good idea to just attack anyways, because again, I just need 2 full rounds of combat to beat him. 1, 2, 3. 2 more hits of my weapon will kill the boss. And because he doesn't have any shield, and is going to be the one doing the most damage this turn, right? Oh wait, no, I'm gonna kill both of these guys this turn. Right, okay, so that guy's fine. 1, 2. Excellent, and he's just gonna run away anyways. We survived by the skin of our teeth, chat. Still gonna hit him a bit. Run away. Level up. Because I want more space in my backpack. 3 spaces, eh? Alright. 1, 2, 3. Might as well. So I guess I could have taken that box of nails with me anyways. Oh well. Whatever, whatever. That was close. Yeah, at least it's over though. And we got some golden cheese. Yes. Don't mind if I take a slice of that? Lactose intolerance be damned. Ooh, there's a bunch of people in town now. Okay. Alright. We haven't sold anything in the store yet. Even if you get beat up, you can still bring things back from the dungeon. I know it's tempting to save some things for your personal collection, but we need resources to build this place. I'll stop by the store to drop off my stuff. We need your supplies to keep this place running. Yeah, all my stuff's actually already in the store. I don't actually need to go over and drop it off. Lewis would not be happy with how much damage you took. No, but Lewis doesn't need to know. I'm actually gonna come talk to this person. Viv. I'm just gonna call him Viv. Librarian here, reporting for duty. I was told that Haverstack Hill is getting quite large, but still no library. We need to change that. New construction, library, learn about powerful relics here. Once you build one, we can really learn new things about the history of this place. Oh, I should also mention that I'm an expert on the many languages that are written across Orderia. If you find anything to translate, it should be labeled as lore item. Bring it to me and I'll be happy to translate it for you. Do you have anything for me to read? Why, yes I do. This is the whole reason I brought some stuff back up from the dungeon. We've got this etching. Ah, here's something for me to read. Conscription. Mothers lost sons and children lost fathers, conscripted to the army never to be seen again, at the king's orders to find the center of the dungeon. So there's a bit of lore for this world. I've added the translation to your atlas. Learning about these new cultures gives me an idea for a new costume for you. Ta-da! It's the blue armor costume from the main screen of the game. Pretty cool. If you bring me more to read, I can look into more costumes too. Do you have more for me to read? I think I do. I think I have this. The Fluffkai Sigil. Ah, here's something for me to read. Always learning, ever striving to grow. Fluffkai. Yeah, I think it's Fluffkai. Says a ball of sap's ancient glow. Mastering the magic, their powers unfurled. Kai is a thief, the frogs accused, they hurled. But fate swiftly silenced the frog's cruel woe. Interesting. I've added the translation to your atlas. Do you have any more for me to read? No. May the pages of your life be filled with knowledge. Oh, that's nice. But yeah, cosmetics, yeah! Lewis, how's that locket going? Oh, you're back again. I am. You're never going to stop this going there, are you? Not until this town is rebuilt. I will once Haverstack Hill is rebuilt. I can't sit still while my home falls apart. This place hasn't been the same since the king's raids. If it wasn't for my bad leg, the king would have conscripted me. And then you'd be all alone. First, if something happened to you after losing Prada, I don't think I could live here without you. I miss Mom too. I'm sorry I worry you, Dad, but you know I have to do this. I know, Purse. Here's this other mouse. Quill Swish. Have you contributed to my campaign for mayor? You're running for mayor? We have a mayor? Well, not yet, you don't. I am Mayor Quill Swish Jr., and I intend to be your next mayor. My father, Lord Quill Swish II, was the mayor of Haverstack back before it fell into disrepair. All this time I've been waiting to claim my birthright. And now that my town is recovering, I have returned. Yes, you've done all the adventuring and fighting and risking your life, but someone has to handle the true risks, the voting public. The first thing I need is a small donation, let's say 10 pieces of treasure. do you have some treasure I can have? I just need about 10. Yeah, we got 4. So give me a second. This and that. Yeah. Sell that. Yeah, we got 10 treasure. Here you go. Fantastic! Now I will consider myself a proper mayor. Please, swear me in. Sure. I'll repeat after you. Whenever you're ready. I don't think I know the oath. Oh, it goes like this. I, Purse, adventurer and settler, do hereby swear in Mayor Quillswish Jr. in the duty confirmed title of Mayor. Therefore, I now appoint you Mayor Quillswish Jr. Mayor? Your first name is Mayor. It is my birthright, and it is a family name. As for you, I can see that you are well prepared to handle this town. Allow me to help you. You can build as many of these as you want. Farms. Agricultural buildings that create 5 food while you're in the dungeon. For each farmland tile nearby, gain +2 efficiency. Farms will create food while you're out adventuring. Houses. Residence building. Increase population count. And houses will attract new villagers. We can't expand forever though. The costs will keep rising. Right. How much to break these? Oh, destroy. 30, right. 25. Interesting. So, library, house, farm. So that's all of our little quests for now. I'm selling so someone will stop by who knows something about Mom. Oh. It could happen. Of course, getting you deeper into the dungeon is going to help too. I've got some powerful equipment I can start you with. Aha, so this is a custom mission. You now start with a specific set of items and are looking for a specific set when you finish the mission. Ah yes, the ever-growing housing market. Yes. Use it to get through at least 3 floors of the dungeon and you'll get a reward. Okay, I want to build that library. So that would cost 100 food, 50 supplies, and 75 treasure. So, let's go in here and see what we can sell to get there. That's all worth 1 each. Okay. That'll be worth a lot more. Yeah, it will be. 5. It's gonna take a while to get to 100 at this rate. Because I need 40 food to get the 100 that I need. Goodness, that only just gets us to 40. Sheesh. That does get us everything we need, but it gets rid of a lot of the stuff we have in storage. I guess we can do that. It's better than trying to find all this stuff anyways. Done for just a second. If I were to increase population, we now have 9. So that increases it by 5. I love the ambient village theme, such a peaceful song to help relax. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Right. How much does it cost to get another house down? Too much. Yeah, I can't destroy any of this stuff until I got 25 residents. That's annoying. So I need at least 20 before I can start deconstructing stuff. But I can't get 20 until I have more building supplies. Whoops. Sure, save game. continue game. I can build the farm as well. They'll give me food while I'm in the dungeon. But unless you guys want me to stretch this stream to a 3rd hour, this might be where it ends. Unfortunately, I forgot how long the early game takes to get to the mid game. But there was a really funny thing I wanted to show you, but I don't think I could get to it in just one more dungeon run. I had not realized that the dungeon runs were like 1 hour long though. That's crazy. You know what? I'm gonna sell these just so I can show you what the library looks like. Sidestep Part 2. That's called the full series. That's what you guys vote on. Sell items. There we go. And now that I've sold that, I can build a library. There we go. So in the library, we have these. This is not what I thought was in the library. This is not what I was gonna show off. Oh well. Another dungeon would probably be too long. Exactly, that's why I was like, unless you guys want me to move on to a 3rd hour for this stream, then yeah, it'd be 2 hours. But yeah. So basically, we can now find this stuff in the dungeon. And if we find this and bring it back, we can submit it here, and these items will start appearing in the dungeon as well. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I'll just go over here for a moment. Go adventuring. Okay, so it's not actually add those yet. Later, we actually get missions where we start with those items. So that's a handy thing. And there are versions of the library for all sorts of things. So there's a version of the library that gives you all the different magic items in the game. There's a version of the library that gives you all the armors in the game. There's a version of the library that gives you all of the shields. Like, just shields. So every different item in the game has a different research building. And when you put low-tier items in, you unlock high-tier items you might find in the dungeon. It's very cool, and I find the system quite interesting, because it means no longer are you like running around the dungeon trying to find the best stuff. You're now trying to also put extra stuff that you're not going to use in battle, because you need it to research better stuff at home. And that is such a fun balancing act of figuring out, can I get this item from where I am in the dungeon past the final boss back home so that I can research a better sword or a better shield or potion or magic item using this. And it is so cool. I have so much fun playing this game. I have found a couple games in the last like 2 months which I've just been playing. Even like I've made sidesteps for these games, and then I just kept playing them after I finished the sidestep because I was just having too much fun. Backpack Hero is already one of those games, as I've already started playing a bunch of it before I made the sidestep. And Dome Keeper is another game which I've been playing a lot, even though I made a sidestep for it. But yeah, it's fun. I'm enjoying this game. I would recommend this game, either full price or on sale. If you can get it on sale, excellent job. You got lucky. If it's not on sale, buy it anyways. It's really good. And it's a very good game. Hold on, is moving in the village based on mouse cursor? It is also based off of arrow keys, but it is also based off of where you click the mouse, or if you click and drag, they'll follow the mouse as well. The mouse cursor up. That's funny. I hadn't even thought of that. That's really funny. It's a mouse cursor, and the mouse follows it. Oh, it's funny. That's probably not an intentional joke from the developer, but it is funny. It is a funny joke. Yeah. This is fun. I've enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it if you decide to buy this game. And we will be back in this playthrough if the chat decides to vote on this game at some point in the future via the next game poll. If you're on YouTube, you might be asking, what is the next game poll? That is a poll that is hosted over on Twitch and my Patreon, where you can vote either for free on Twitch or for as little as $1 on Patreon, and get access to kind of selecting what game you want me to play on Saturdays. And basically, I'll just switch to that game whenever I finish the current game we're playing on Saturday. So if you want some control over what I do on my live streams, that's a great way to do it. And if you want twice the votes, vote both places. Vote both on Twitch and on Patreon. And, yeah. I hope you all enjoyed. Let's move on to the verse of the day, shall we? Onwards! Oh, that was just delightful, wasn't it? Alright, let me have a little drink of water before I get to this. It also gives me a chance to open my notes. I need to remember to let myself breathe when I'm talking. Because I can be constantly out of breath when I'm talking sometimes, because I just keep talking and I talk fast. Either way, our verse today is Luke 12, verse 15, and we are reading from the New Living Translation, which says, "Then he said to them, 'Watch out, be on your guard against all kinds of greed. Life does not consist in an abundance of possessions.'" This verse did come up just a couple of days ago on YouVersion, but I must admit, I picked it knowing the game we'd be playing today. Our game made a good point that you have to decide what you value, as you can't fit everything in your backpack. However, it is still focused on your possessions, and this lesson could apply to much more. Namely, you have to decide what you value in life, as you can't have everything. There are some natural trade-offs, especially when it comes to how we use our time, as you can't be in two places at once. For example, if you wish to get ahead in your career, you are likely going to have to put in extra time, whether that be at the job or for extra training or education, which means you'll need to sacrifice time spent in other areas. Unfortunately, we make choices like this every day, but are often not aware that we're making choices, as we feel that we're just reacting to our circumstances. It's important to figure out what you value and start making your choices according to your priorities instead of allowing your circumstances to control your life. So, how do we figure out what we value so that we can set our priorities? Well, it goes back to our verse again. Our verse is pointing us away from basing our life on an abundance of possessions, but it doesn't point us towards what we should value. Most of Luke chapter 12 is Jesus speaking, and this verse is no different. Up until verse 12, Jesus is offering us guidance on how to live our life and what we should value or fear the most. In verse 13, a person asks Jesus to tell this person's brother to split their inheritance with him, which is why verse 15 is focused on not placing so much value on possessions. I can only imagine Jesus' frustration after spending all of that time talking about what's most important in life, only to have someone interrupt with a question which shows they have not been listening at all. After this, Jesus goes on to tell a parable about a man who is so concerned about saving up grain for his future that he spends his time tearing down his barns to build a bigger one to be able to protect all of the extra grain, which corresponds to money in his time, not realizing he's about to die and that the grain will actually be of no value to him. I don't think Jesus is saying it's wrong for the man to have barns to store his grain, but he's pointing out how pointless it was to tear down the current barns to protect the extra grain, which would have given the man more security in life if he had not died that night, of course. He's highlighting how the man's plan for the future had no value, as it didn't take into consideration what God already knew. I know it isn't part of this verse, but it made me wonder what Jesus would have liked the man to do with all of this extra grain. Personally, I think the point of the man being blessed with all the extra grain would have been so that he could share it with those in need, which would, of course, have followed God's command to love others, and Jesus' example of putting needs of others before our own. I'm going to read the verse again, but this time I'm going to read it from the New Living Translation, as I like some of the wording. It says, "Then he said, 'Beware, guard against every kind of greed. Life is not measured by how much you own.'" The question that immediately pops into my mind when I read this version is, If life is not measured by how much you own, how is it measured? The answer, I think, would have to be faith, namely, faith in God. The man in the parable placed his faith in the amount of grain he had. Many people place their faith in the amount of money they have or their own career. Some even place their faith in all the good things that they do. I don't think it's not a bad thing to do good, to have a good career, or even to have money saved up. But if you're relying on any of those things to provide for your future, you are the same as the man who built a new barn to store grain he would never gain the benefit from. If your faith is on God, or if your faith is in God, if you rely on Him and follow what He guides through the Holy Spirit, your future will be taken care of. Only God knows what the next moment in your life will hold, so only He can plan for it properly. If your faith is in God and you're following His lead, you don't need to worry about your future as it's all taken care of. God loves you and He has a plan and a purpose for your life, which will bless you. Place your faith in Him and you will live an abundant life in all the ways that truly matter. And that is our verse for today, which ends our stream. I hope you all enjoyed. I just wanted to let you guys know, I found a trailer for a game that's coming out soon. There's actually no release date given yet, but it's kind of relevant. That's the word. For this audience, because a while back I did a sidestep on a game called TerraTech, and we tried to get Jade in it, but it turned out that you couldn't play the campaign of the game in multiplayer, and that was kind of disappointing to both of us because we really wanted to play the main kind of gameplay loop of that with multiple players, but the game just didn't support at the time. Those developers have been working, and they haven't updated TerraTech, but they're working on a new game called TerraTech Worlds, and I'm going to be honest, if I put TerraTech in the list, I might just mean TerraTech Worlds if that is out at that point. So look forward to that. I recommend checking out the trailer for that because, man, that new engine they've got in TerraTech Worlds looks really good. And other than that, I hope you all enjoy. Have a good day. Have a great week. God bless and goodbye. I'll see you all on Monday with some more Deep Rock Galactic. Bye.
Transmission complete.
I would like to personally thank my Commander Tier patrons for their support of this channel. Montana Big Sky, thank you for your contribution.